No one tweets like Gaston. Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. I'm your host,
I'm
Buckler
your
Duke.
That's your host Buckley Duke, and I am your host Trash Hands Chadley. Welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about some movies, and boy, you guys might want to buckle in for this one because it's going to be a bumpy ride. This one,
I'm literally going to be screaming my head off.
He's going to be beat red, dude. He's going to have the vein in your forehead. That shit might not even be attached to his body by the end of this.
Every single movie we're talking about today, I'm actively confused why they exist.
We're talking about the newest from Disney, Beauty and the Beast. Their new this year's live action. Next year, I heard they're doing Lion King. Don't need that. Don't need that.
Live action Lion King? Here's the thing. No people in that movie.
So live action just implies that it's actually just going to be CG. So fucking great. You might as well just make it a 3D movie, like a Disney Animated Studios 3D movie. Might as well just re-release Lion King. Just that's all you got. Re-release
Jungle Book. Okay, it's got one person in it, and then the rest is animation. But this Lion King, no people.
Here's the thing: is that I think Jungle Book must have been like a trial run to see like if they could do the Lion King.
So, okay, but here's the thing: why are you doing that?
The year after that, they're doing Aladdin, and then like that could be fun.
Aladdin with Guy Ritchie, that might be all right.
Yeah, yeah. Is that who's doing Aladdin?
Yeah, Guy Ritchie. Confirmed.
It's actually pretty good. Also confirmed this week is that Sony has announced that Tom Hardy is going to be playing Venom.
What?
Dude, that's so crazy. Like, here's the thing is that, like, I heard about the Hard R Venom movie, and I'm like, all right, I'm on board. And then they're like, oh, it's going to be Tom Hardy. And I'm like, I didn't even think I was off board before, but I'm even more on board now. Like, that's so crazy.
You didn't even need to win me back, Sony.
I thought I was already on board, but you guys just pulled me more on board. That's so crazy.
We've talked about this before, but I think Tom Hardy's contract stipulation needs to have his face covered.
Absolutely it does. You see in Mad Max, he's got like the fucking jail cell over his face at the beginning of the movie.
And then, I've only seen the trailers for Dunkirk, but it looks like he's in a pilot's mask the entire movie.
Yeah. He'll like get out and he'll be like, and he'll you know what? He might just start doing Bane bits because like how good would that be if in the middle of a Christopher Nolan movie that takes place like 60 years before the release of The Dark Knight Rises, he starts making Bane jokes. There it is. That's a perfect joke right there. I also got the opportunity. We're never going to talk about it on the show. I'm never going to make you watch it, but I got the opportunity to check out Boss Baby this past weekend. And boy, I don't know why as a collective human race we let things like this happen. It's another, like, I feel like I've screamed about this like 7 or 8 times now. It's like it's this fucking anti-business movie. It's like, why are all these kids movies making businessmen the villain? Why is this always got to be like this? What a weird thing. Why are we so against consumerism? Please buy stuff. The economy's broken. Please consume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just indulge in capitalism, guys.
Well, it is weird that people make businessmen to be out the bad guy. Like, especially like I see this a lot in small towns where like a businessman comes in and starts actually running something like a business, and people are like, "Oh, he's an asshole." It's like, nah, he's a good businessman.
Yeah, like when Walmarts pop up and they're like, "You're putting all these general stores out of business." It's like, well, it's because they're not good businessmen.
Because you're giving people free rides.
Yeah, but like Boss Baby is the craziest part about Boss Baby though is its cast. You got fucking Jimmy Kimmel playing the dad. First of all, don't hire him. That's a weird choice. But Steve Buscemi is the bad guy. Buscemi is the bad guy. Yeah, I mean, like at this point, I'm just kind of glad he's working. But why?
But why?
Alex Baldwin is
Well, to be fair, you can't put Steve Buscemi on film anymore. He's literally gotten too ugly.
Yeah, and Alec Baldwin is confusing. Yeah, that's actually a good point. But his character is pretty ugly in the movie too. So they didn't really. Yeah. He's like a big fat gross business baby. Yeah, it's grotesque, dude. But like the worst part about Boss Baby is that it is like it's just fucking gross, dude. There's so many parts where like the baby will like sneeze and like all of it's like you see like every fucking bit of snot like go into somebody's mouth and like shit like that and like start like yeah, like it's fucking gross. There's like a part where he's vomiting in people's mouths. Like it's really gross. There's like a character named Eugene who gets vomited, and then the main character, who's Tobey Maguire, by the way, gets fucking vomited in his mouth. And like Alec Baldwin is also the most confusing actor on the planet, because like half of me is like, dude, that dude's fucking awesome, and then like half of me is like, wait, no, he's not. He's tricking me. He's no good.
He's a trickster.
He brings this air of confidence that you're like, yeah, he is good, and then you start watching him closely, and you're like, but
yeah, it's like when you watch like his Trump bits,
yeah,
and then you're like, oh, maybe he's good because he's like so confident. And then you like listen to the impression, you're like, oh, that's not even a Trump impression. What is that?
Yeah, that's not even close. That's him just saying
like Trump.
That's just him saying the words like big and best over and over again.
China. It's pronounced China. That doesn't sound like Trump. That sounds like Patrick Warburton.
China. Dude, it's crazy, dude. Although, like, to be fair, like in things like 30 Rock, like I do think Alec Baldwin is competent at the very least. He's good good in The Aviator. Actually, even kind of good in what's that one he did with Meryl Streep where he like bangs the old Meryl Streep? What's that one called? It's like it's someone else is in it who also bangs.
It's complicated.
Yeah. He's all right in that too. Like that's actually like a surprisingly good romantic comedy for what it is, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think Alec Baldwin is good, but I just don't think he's as good as his competence leads us to believe. But yeah, don't hire Alec Baldwin to be a baby, though.
Anyway, I saw Alien Covenant last night, and before the movie, we were watching the trailers, and we were commenting on them because you got like the Mummy and shit. Where I've heard some spec rumors that Tom Hanks, or what's his name, Tom Cruise turns into the Mummy at the end. But I've seen the trailer for it, but I've never seen it with people before. And like, well, I was watching it with the boys, and like halfway through the trailer, somebody beside me was like, "Are we going to see this one, boys?" And then like 30 seconds later, it starts crawling like fucking on its back legs and shit, like a crab. And then everybody's like, whoa, whoa. And it's like, and then it's like, oh, maybe not, boys, maybe not this one.
Oh man. Since we're talking about trailers, let's do a little bit of trailer trash, because there is something that I do want to talk about that is just like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen? In fact, I know you have, because I think you're the one who sent it to me. The Orville. Don't do this. Have you seen? You see the Orville? It's like that Star Trek with Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. He's making a Star Trek TV show.
Yeah. He's making it a comedy, and like, but it's not official Star Trek canon, right? Like, it's not. No. I don't think it's like an official Star Trek show. It's like more like a parody. But like, don't do that, Seth MacFarlane. I feel like Seth MacFarlane thinks he's smarter than he is, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm seeing what everybody's going to see in theaters, and I'm just trying to game popularity through like shitty fucking blockbuster garbage."
Well, I don't know what happened, but Seth MacFarlane at some point decided that he was an actor, and I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
Yeah, because like, hey, you do impressions. That's essentially what his job is. He's a glorified impressionist.
Well, it's like it's been a while since I've seen him, and in that Orville trailer, he looks like very young, and I'm like, what the fuck did they do to his face? Like, isn't that dude like 50?
Yeah, he's pretty old now. He did Family Guy for like 2 decades now. Like, that's crazy. That show still runs, which is the craziest thing. To be fair, like, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of impressed he has time, because he fucking writes, produces, and even directs and voices for both American Dad and Family Guy. And like, he doesn't
really write those shows anymore.
Does he not? Does he not write them?
No. He's got people for that.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess you get once you're famous enough, you just hire people and be like, write like me, and it'll be funny.
And then he just goes in and records like 6 in a row, bangs them out. So,
oh yeah, I guess maybe you show up to the studio once or twice a month. You get.
I feel like it's like it is a lot of work probably, but I don't think it's like necessarily as much as people are making out, because he definitely doesn't write them anymore, and he's just voice acting them. So like,
doesn't he have to approve anything or?
Sure, well yeah. That's like,
Yeah, I guess 50. It's a 20-page script. It'll take 10 minutes out of his day. That makes sense. Either way, I can't believe that he's doing that. We're gonna talk about Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast, the new Disney film. We're going to be talking about the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie on Stranger Tides. That's going to be mind-boggling. As well as, what's the last one? Table 19. Table 19 starring Anna Kendrick and Wyatt Russell. Crazy movie. We're also going to be doing the Disney Animated Studios Fantasy Draft. So that'll be fun as well. So buckle up, tune in for that. Listen for your favorite Disney movies. Let's talk about Beauty and the Beast. You didn't like this movie. What's up?
I don't know. I've just seen it before. Like, I don't want to watch any of these Disney live action movies. They're literally exactly the same. Why are you spending hundreds of millions of dollars to make the same thing? Can we make something new? Is there anything? Make something new. Like, I like all the songs in Beauty and the Beast. I think Beauty and the Beast has some of the strongest songs out of it.
Oh, and then they added bad songs.
Yeah, then you add shit, and it's like, what are we doing here?
You know what's crazy though is that every song that they added is like a shittier version of a song that ended up being in the Broadway
I literally
musical.
skipped through like a couple of the songs, so I'm like, I can't even do this. Like, it's so.
Yeah, it's an underwhelming movie, that's for sure. Especially as someone like I don't know about you, but I'm personally a really big fan of the original. Like, I really like Beauty and the Beast. It's one of my favorite Disney movies.
I like it. It's not one of my favorites, but I do like a lot of the songs from it.
Yeah, and it's
especially the Gaston song and Be Our Guest, of course.
Yeah, like the fun stuff. Human Again, which is in the first movie, but not in this one, because they took out some songs and put in some real fucking bad ones. Like,
well, and another thing I don't like about these live action movies, like, we had this problem with Christopher Walken singing and shit. It's like, I don't want other people singing the songs because it's worse.
Yeah, just get the fucking Law and Order guy, what's his name, Jerry Orbach, to fucking sing the Candle song. Ewan McGregor can't do it.
Song.
Fuck it, just get Jerry Orbach back. I don't care.
We don't care.
Here's the thing about this movie is that you look at the original. It is essentially the same events, but they add things. But the problem with that is that this movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes, and because the original movie, the original movie is 90 minutes, there's literally 90 minutes of important information. That's why that's a good movie, because they pack all the information into 90 minutes.
Well, it's not like, it's also not an extenuous story. It's like, yo, dad gets trapped, goes find, trades for daughter, falls in love with Beast. Very simple.
Finn. Hunting man angry.
Yeah. There's a curse or something. None of it really matters.
Yeah, they really go out of their way.
210? Too much. Hey,
yeah,
Disney,
it's way too long.
Like Disney's, it's shorter. All of it shorter.
It's like the bottom line is that yes, this is now like, this isn't just like an fun little animated movie. You're turning this into a motion picture. But the bottom line is it's still for kids, and kids don't have 130-minute long attention spans. They don't. They have 90 to maybe 110, and 110 is like stretching it.
Yeah,
110. So they don't have 130 minutes of an attention span. That is absolutely positive.
One time I saw a kid watching Godfather on his iPad. I'm like, what do we got?
What do we got? How long before he switches that over to something else? You look over, he's watching fucking, what's that stupid show with like the Wiggles? That's what it is, the Wiggles. You look over, he's watching the Wiggles. He's giving up. He stopped watching The Godfather and just started watching the scene from Zootopia that parallels The Godfather.
Hell yeah!
Get the same information in a fucking 8-minute scene. That
movie's long too, though.
Zootopia? Yeah, I think it's like almost 2 hours. Although, yeah, I mean, Zootopia is for kids, but like less so than this, I'd say. Zootopia is a bit more entertaining for adults, I would say. And
yeah, I would agree with that.
So Beauty and the Beast. Again, they added a bunch of stuff that wasn't important because all the important information was already there. So they're like, we got to add shit to make it longer. No, you don't. Oh, we're going to add that there's a widow in the town who begs for money and turns out she's a witch. Don't got to do that. That's a weird thing to add. Don't got to do that. There's a Mrs. Potts' husband lives in the town now and he's constantly looking for his wife. Don't add that. Don't add that. Like, am I crazy?
Hey, don't add that.
Yeah, don't add that. So I'm gonna say, like, just overall, just like before we really go into it, because I do have a lot of issues with this movie. This movie, I know you are not gonna agree with this, but for what it is, I think this movie is competent, passable, I don't think it's very good. Like Jungle Book was way better than this. Jungle Book was
Well,
so
I do agree with you. I think it is like for making a Beauty and the Beast live action film. Sure, it is that, but I don't
let's
care. Is the
yeah,
big
let's talk about the things that I really like about this movie. Just because like there's so much that I
that's the
don't
thing
like.
we do like.
Yeah, let's talk about that shit we do like. This movie is almost worth it to see the chemistry, the on-screen chemistry between Luke Evans and Josh Gad.
Oh man, Luke Evans, he's so good.
So good.
To be fair though, I know you don't agree with this, but I don't think he's big enough. I think he could be bigger.
He could be bigger. I think you know what they could have puffed him up a little bit. They could have.
I like the original cartoon because he's comedically large. Like he's like lifting shit up, and he's like comedically large.
Yeah, in this one he just kind of looks like your generic like maybe ran track in school or something like that.
All state for sure, but like just dude.
Yeah, definitely just guy. Josh Gad, on the other hand, that's maybe the best cast that Disney has ever made.
Which is crazy because Josh Gad isn't good, so it's like.
But yeah, I totally agree. He's not good, but he's so good as this character, and he has on-screen chemistry.
The Johnny Depp effect.
Like him and Luke Evans must have been like, okay, if we're gonna do this, we gotta hang out for like a month straight before we.
Yeah, they fucked.
Yeah, we gotta become best friends and maybe bang a little bit. There's also like Josh Gad had some lines added that weren't funny. Like, for instance, like at the end of the song when he's like, I just realized I'm illiterate. I'm like, don't add that. That's not funny.
No punchline.
Yes, that's not punch. Because like in the first movie, he tries to spell Gaston's name and he just does it shitty. That's funny. You don't have to explain to me why the joke is funny, like in the middle of the joke. So don't do that.
Look, I understand joke structure. Can people stop fucking explaining jokes, please?
Yeah, for fuck's sake. Luke Evans is an amazing singer, which just took me from fucking left field. Like I was like, what? He started singing and I'm like, what? He's so good at singing. Why is that? And then Josh Gad starts going, obviously we've heard Josh Gad sing before. And we're like, yeah, all right, that makes sense that he's good at singing. And then the first thing that happens in the movie, because like that's essentially, I think Dan Stevens is a good actor and actually a very good singer. I think Dan Stevens is good in this movie. Who else is in this? Ian McKellen is competent as the clock. He doesn't really do very much, but he's good. Emma Thompson is actually a really good cast, I think, as Mrs. Potts.
The clock, I like the clock and the candelabra. I like their bit. They did some bits I thought were kind of funny though.
Yeah, I felt like there was more in the animated movie though.
Yeah,
like I felt like there was more back and forth between those two. Like I felt like there were less characters in this movie. Like they weren't really in it as much. It was more about.
Well, they were definitely like the thing I liked animation wise the most. I thought they were very good looking.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I also liked that the candle could he had like legs and stuff. That kind of freaked me out. He had a freaky looking he had a freaky looking gold face. Didn't like that. But so that's essentially where the things that I liked ended. Let's talk.
What should we do like?
Now let's go into my several pages of notes on this movie because there's a lot of shit I don't like about this movie. Emma Watson, no, thanks.
Can't sing.
Here's the problem: is it that she fucking auto-tuned? They auto-tuned Emma Watson.
Well, it's like, and it wasn't even really synced that good. Like you could tell, like every time she was singing, that she was clearly in some sort of studio and doctored up. It's like just put some if you want Emma Watson in the movie, fine, but like overdub her voice or something.
Yeah, get someone. They used to do that in Disney movies all the time. Like they would just get somebody else to sing. Like what's his name? Jonathan, whatever, and from The Lion King. What's that fucking stupid kid from Home Improvement? What's his name? Jonathan Lipnicki? No, that's the kid from Stuart Little. But
he's dead anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. He had like 3 names or whatever. But the kid from Lion King, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. That's correct. That's his name. He didn't sing his lines in Lion King because guess what? Can't sing. Can't sing. So they're like, got it. We'll just get somebody else to do it. You can do that. I mean, preferably not. I thought they did that in Moana until I realized The Rock is a perfect human being. I truly thought, like, when I first saw it, I'm like, no way, The Rock's actually singing
Oh
that.
yeah, they just Lin-Manuel Miranda just overdubbed that. It's fine.
Yeah. And then it turns out it was actually The Rock singing because apparently he's the greatest human being on the planet. But you can do that. I mean, obviously, I'd prefer you not to. If you're gonna cast a movie like this, maybe just cast somebody who can do it. Like, I understand the draw of bringing in Emma Watson. She's the right age for the character. She's very pretty. She's very famous. I get it, Disney. Don't get me wrong, but she's got to be able to sing it. She's got to be able to sing it. I also don't think she's very good at acting in this movie either, which is weird because I usually think she's all right. Nothing too spectacular. Hermione Granger was pretty bad, but like, she was bad in this movie, and here's why. Because every time, this is a beautiful looking movie, obviously. Yeah. I'd be pissed if it wasn't. It cost $250 million. You know?
Yeah, that's not something I give a shit about anymore, because if it has to look good or it's a bad movie.
Every movie Disney makes is a good looking movie, so that we can just discard.
Well, it's not even Disney. It's just every blockbuster is good looking now, and if it's not, don't make it.
Yeah, exactly. But like this movie, like it is a beautiful looking movie, but the problem is that like you wouldn't be able to tell that Emma Watson was standing on a green screen if she wasn't standing like she was on a green screen. Like she stands as if she's like singing to like an audience of fucking people who are there watching her, because that's what actually is happening. And you can tell like she's so awkward, and like it's almost like she's stage acting in this movie. It's bizarre. She's very bad. And here's the problem. Here's the first problem. Next problem is that like at the beginning of the movie, yeah, they eventually villainize Gaston, but at the beginning of the movie, he's actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, like he's like a good dude.
He's being a nice guy, and Belle is like a total bitch. They turn her into a total bitch. He's like, oh, I want to,
he wasn't even harassing her or anything.
Yeah, he was like, I want to hang out with you. I want to learn how to read a book better. And she's like, I'm never marrying you. And he's like, what the fuck?
I don't even believe I mentioned that. I can't read.
There was one part though where I was just like laughing my fucking ass off because it was just Luke Evans, and I imagine this was like improvised or whatever. But like right after Luke Evans asks her to marry him and she says no, she like comes out and she like looks out at him, and he's like walking down the street and he just stops and stands in the middle of a puddle, and I was laughing just so hard at that, just like him just like stopping it, standing in the middle of a puddle, dude. That was so good. There is a lot of additional content in this movie as well, and while it is appreciated, for instance, they're like when they cursed the castle at the beginning of the movie, the narrator's like, and then they put a curse on the village nearby, so they forget about the castle. And it's like, okay, well, that makes sense because there was a castle in the first movie that nobody knew about 10 minutes from their house. So that seems weird.
Yeah, it also is the Black Hills of Germany, though. So I think a castle could actually hide away in there pretty easily, though.
Yeah. I mean, not if it's always snowing in June, but like I do get what you're saying. Yeah. Like I don't know why they added that too, because they were like, we want this movie to take place in the middle of spring, but also in winter. So,
well, I mean, you used to live in the mountains, and I think you know better than anyone how vast such a thing could be. There might be a castle fucking out there 10 minutes away. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Actually, that's a fair point. My next problem comes from actually a person who I like a lot, Dan Stevens, who plays the Beast in this movie. My problem with Dan Stevens is that he's not really that beastly, like his voice comes out and he's like, my name is the Beast. Like
it sounds like Michael Fassbender in Prometheus.
Yeah, like he's just coming up being like, would you join me for dinner? And it's like, no, dude, you gotta fucking, what's that? It's the name of the guy who doesn't have first one, Robbie, whatever the fuck his name is. You gotta be like, I am Dan Stevens. Like you gotta beast it up a little bit. Like, were you just straight acting?
There's a part where he's like talking shit about Shakespeare and his like tongue's hanging out, and I'm like, that's not Beast though. That's just Big Dog, man. Hey, you Beast, sir? And then he's like eating soup, like a hilarious cat or something. Like, oh, you're not Beast Man though.
Yeah, like what are you? Because like you're walking around and like he doesn't have beastly mannerisms. Is the
like
issue?
He looks like a cat man to me.
Yeah, he walks around like a person would, and then like does characteristically beast-like things when it's like necessary. There is, however, a part of this movie where I had to fucking pause the movie because I was howling my ass laughing because there's a part where Belle and the Beast have a snowball fight.
Oh, dude, that's the most bizarre thing in any movie. It's so funny.
He builds this like giant snowball, like the size of like my torso, and he fucking smokes her in the face with it. Like
She gets concussed and shit.
Yeah, like she fucking like she flies back a little bit, dude, and then they just cut to the next scene. It's like, whoa, all right, you gotta
it's like something that should be in SNL.
My next issue comes from the ensemble cast, like during these massive musical numbers, which, by the way, I understand there is so much more you can do with animation than you can with real life people. That Be Our Guest ensemble bit apparently took them a month of filming, which is great, but it looks half as entertaining as the animated Be Our Guest. It really does. And I get it. There's so much more. It's so much more colorful and fun when it's animated and you can just do whatever the fuck you want. But when you're actually filming, I guess it's just fucking CG, to be fair. But like, it doesn't look as interesting. Gaston
he still uses practical lighting though.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. But the Gaston song, like the people at the bar during that song don't look like they're having any fun, which was like sucking the fun out of it for me. I was like, why is that guy just sitting there as if there's not a musical number happening? Speaking of which, they also they gate up LeFou pretty
they
heavy.
gate him up.
They gate him up, and I wouldn't say I take issue with this, but I do think that it's not necessary because like before the movie came out, Disney came out and they're like, oh yeah, just so you guys know, like in this film, LeFou's a homosexual, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's characteristic for him to be a homosexual just because of the way he is, and yeah, that makes sense to me. I wonder how that's going to relate to the movie. It doesn't at all. Like, it doesn't at all. You didn't need to say anything. I wouldn't have asked questions. Like, I wouldn't have been like, hey, that guy gay? No, I wouldn't have asked questions. I would have been like, okay, he might be gay, but, you know, it's not important. So let's just move on from it, you know? It's one of those things. They also added lines to some of the songs, which threw me off a little bit because like I know a lot of these songs off by heart and I was like singing along and then all of a sudden like they're singing some line I never heard before and I'm like, what the fuck? And the most confusing part about it is that like Gaston, there's one line in the Gaston song they added where he's talking about hunting and he's like, when stalking my prey, I sneak up with my quiver while he's holding a fucking pistol. And I'm like, or not a pistol, a rifle. And I'm like, why do you have a quiver if you have a rifle? What is a quiver going to do for you when you have a rifle? Like, that's like, it just seems so bizarre. Don't need bow. Haven't seen you use a bow this whole movie. Just seen you use rifle. Yeah. I just think that like a lot of these giant musical numbers that were a lot of fun in the animated movie are just less so. They also like they really wanted to evil up Gaston, so they're like, let's have him tie Maurice to a tree and have that be not important at all.
There's so much shit like that where it's like, here's something that's gonna happen, but also doesn't matter.
I also have a question. There's something I noticed. There's like, you know, that one that's like where she's singing about how she's like she's not sure that she wants to fuck the beast, but she thinks she wants to fuck the beast. There's like there's something weird during that song. Like it's an inner monologue type song, but like, and this is gonna sound weird, but I think about this about like a lot of musical films where stuff like this happens. Where it's clearly like she's singing the song, but it's also like in montage form. Like she'll sing the first song in one room and then it'll cut to a scene of her in the library and she continues singing the song. And it's like, so did you sing the first line of that song, forget that you were singing it, go about your daily shit, ended up in the library, and then you sang the second line while you fucking put books back? Like that just seems so weird to me. Not really a pick. Because
I do have another question. Because you know this material better than I do. There's a part, I think it might actually be in that song where he's talking about his paws.
Yeah.
What? He's talking about his paws?
Yeah, dude.
Is that in the movie? I don't remember.
Yeah, it is. So when we touched, she didn't shudder at my paw.
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate him. I hate the beast, dude.
Yeah, he's not very likable. He's actually even less likable in this one because in the original movie, he's illiterate, and that's like part of like sort of his boyish charm that like Belle gets to teach him how to read. No, in this one, he's like a fucking Harvard graduate who's a total cunt. Like it's like
Yeah.
I've read every book in the world. I've been
He
to
seems like
every
a Trump supporter.
Yeah. There is
Hey,
like
excuse me, Mr. Beastman, you a Trump supporter at all?
there's also a really weird thing because like in the first movie, the Enchantress leaves him like the mirror to sort of see back on people while he lives in the castle, is staying in the castle. But in this one, she left him like a whole bunch of magic shit, and it's like, why would you even care if you're a beast forever? You got like a bunch of really cool magic shit. Like there's that book that like transfers you anywhere that you ever want to go. And they like fucking go to Paris in this movie. And I'm like, what am I watching? Like, why is this happening? They also add in an explanation as to why Belle's mother wasn't around. Did not ask. Didn't ask. Didn't need it. She died of the plague. There you go. I honestly probably would have thought that anyways, for the love of God. I think there's like that. There is that one song. There is one additional song in this that I do like. Where it's like, I know she'll never leave me. I think that is a good song. I don't think it's like best original song worthy, but I think that is a good song. But it is the exact same song as If I Can't Love Her from the musical. And it's like, why not just have that song? It's like, it's almost exactly the same.
Is the addition of new songs for the best original?
I think it has to be. Like, there's no other reason to have it. It's like the reason they added one song into Les Mis and then got nominated, obviously, because they wanted the best original song. That being said, I don't think they needed to add so many of them, though. And they're all not interesting, which is crazy. Which is like the one where they're singing about like when they're human again, which there's literally a song in the original one called Human Again, which they could have just fucking used that. But instead, they made a new song that's slow, not fun, and basically the same fucking idea, but it's not fun because like in the original it's like we'll be dancing again, and it's like it's so much fun. Like, you know, like they're talking, they're like, I'll sit back by the sea sipping tea or whatever the fuck, but like it's fun. But in this one they're like, when we go back I will be united. And so, fuck off. Like, shut up. Like, this is the same song, but it's slow and stupid.
And stupid.
Now, here's my biggest problem with this movie. My number one biggest problem with this movie. See, ever since like the internet came out and people have been talking about movies on the internet, there is one thing that people have always said about the original Beauty and the Beast. One issue that they just decided not to amend. Didn't give the Beast a name. Didn't give him a fucking name, and like that drives me crazy. They got a second chance at this, and they're like, "Do we want to give him a name this time?" Because canonically, he does have a name. It's Adam, but everyone calls him Beast in the movie, including Belle
or Massa.
Yeah, or Massa. It's like I almost kind of want to know if this movie's like a little bit racist, but it's like.
There is slave connotations, or at least European kind of help connotations.
Yeah, they live in like a shack in his backyard or whatever. But they all call him Beast, and like the craziest thing about this is that dude.
If I was Beast and people were calling me Beast, I might be like, yeah, call me Beast. But I think more likely I'd be like, hey, probably don't call me Beast.
But the craziest thing about it is that they mention it. They mention it. Like, that's the worst part about it, is like at the very end of the movie, a Beast is like fighting Gaston, and then he's like got him, he's holding him above like the drop, and he's gonna drop him off the cliff or whatever. And Gaston goes, "Please, Beast, don't kill me." And he's like, "I am not a beast." And if I were Gaston, I'd be like, weird that you say that, because Belle literally said that was what your name is earlier. There's a part where she's like, she has the mirror and she's like, "Show me the Beast." Why couldn't they have just given him a name and she would "Show me Adam," and just been like, "Here he is. This is him." You know, like, like, why she like literally five minutes before he's like, "I'm not a beast." She called him the Beast, the person who is supposed to be in love with him. Like,
oh, hey, sir, you a beast at all? I just have one question. You beast.
Yeah, I also think that Gaston's death was a lot less satisfying in this one because, like, in the animated one, he's like fucking, he's reaching up, he's falling, and he's like but in this one, it's just like a CG body just like rolling. It's like, all right,
I agree with that.
This is here's what I think happened is that last year they took a passable Disney movie and they turned it into a really good live action. This year they took a really good Disney animated and they took it into like a semi-passable live action film.
Well, it's interesting. Like they did test the waters with like some more. Well, like what did they? I've never saw Cinderella, but like that was like the first one they did.
Yeah,
and people seem to like that.
Yeah, but I don't think it did very well. Like I don't know a lot of people have seen it. Did it? Did it? Yeah, because like I know a few people that saw it, but like I know like so many more people who saw Jungle Book.
Yeah, well, Jungle Book was obviously the one that launched this fucking live action every year. But
yeah. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this as well, but Ewan McGregor is the worst ever. He's so fucking bad in this movie because can't do French. Can't do French. And I think you and
man. Why are we casting a British guy for this?
We talked about this on the podcast before, like when we first saw the trailer, but like now that the movie's out, it's like I can't believe they released it as unfinished as that. That's so crazy that they would do that, dude. Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, with Jungle Book, you had Jon Favreau, who's clearly well versed in this type of filmmaking. Bill Condon, I think, maybe is getting there because what he did like Kinsey, like that's not. You can fucking hire the director of Kinsey to do Beauty and the Beast? Is really?
You know what's crazy? I think that there's like just not enough directors anymore. So it's like you have to just like hire these indie guys now.
They're like, oh my god, they're like, we have to hire a director for this live action Beauty and the Beast, and it's like we got everybody on Star Wars, and yeah, we've already got our best man on Star Wars and Marvel. Like,
because you think about like even like all the DC stuff, all the blockbusters, just like the big blockbusters,
Jurassic Park.
Everybody is on something right now, and it's like even like the guys that are hardly directing stuff anymore, like Steven Spielberg, he's working on like 6 things because it's like there's just not enough directors right now.
Nobody's making movies anymore, man. We're all just making blockbusters.
No, the problem is there's too many movies, I think. It's just like everybody's making blockbusters. So it's like, who do we got? Can we get Rain Johnson? It's like he's not doing anything, right? Let's give him $1 billion.
Yeah. And then they're like, who do we get for Beauty and the Beast? And it's like, Taika's busy already, so I don't know.
Can you imagine a Taika Beauty and the Beast? Woo! There would have been a lot of that snowball shit for sure.
Who's doing Lion King? Is it Jon Favreau on the Lion King again?
I think Favreau's doing Lion King.
Yeah, it's someone crazy because like I know that they already made the decision to just recast fucking James Earl Jones with James Earl Jones, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a ballsy move. But then again, like nobody could do James Earl Jones like James Earl Jones, man.
Just do him, right?
When they were casting, here's what I imagine happened. They're like, we need somebody who can sound like James Earl Jones. And they're like, well, I mean, we already reeled in James Earl Jones on that Star Wars shit last year. You think you could bring him back for more Lion King?
He's back in.
And yeah, I mean, with James Earl Jones got to have no money left, right? He spent all his Star Wars money.
Yeah. Jon Favreau was connected to the Lion King.
Yeah, it's who's connected to Aladdin again? It's somebody really crazy on Aladdin. You know what? Oh yeah, that's right. It was Guy Ritchie. That's right. Guy Ritchie Aladdin's gonna look great though. Like that's gonna be a good looking movie. And like
Donald Glover is Simba, Seth Rogen is Pumbaa.
Yo. Wait, Seth Rogen is Pumbaa?
This seems like a fake movie, but it's real.
Donald Glover is Simba, like Donald Glover of rap music fame.
Yes, the black person, Jet Li. He's going to play the lion. Yes, the black person. I know you have problems with that.
Just get Matthew Broderick in there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care about that. But yeah, Seth Rogen, I'm kind of off board on that. I don't think. I mean, if you really think about it, it kind of is a good cast, but like, I don't know. It all depends.
Stone Pumbaa.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's what you got to do now, though. Get Paul Rudd to play Timon. Then it's gonna be fine.
No, they already cast him as that gay guy that does the Man on the Street for Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh yeah, yeah, I don't remember his
Billy
name.
Elrich, I think his name is.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I guess. I mean, sure, sure. You know what? Beauty, if you like the original Beauty and the Beast.
He's one of those guys that talks like this on the street. Hi, what
Oh,
do you
so
think of Donald Trump?
so you're saying they recast Nathan Lane with young Nathan Lane?
Essentially,
um, if you like the original Beauty and the Beast, I'd say like this might be worth one watch, but you don't need to buy it. Like rent it on video on demand or something. Because
it's going to be on Netflix in 4 weeks. So
yeah, exactly. Wait till this is on Netflix. It's a one-time watch. Here's the thing. I will never watch the animated Jungle Book ever again because there's a better version now. I will never watch the live-action Beauty and the Beast because there is a better version, which is the animated movie.
Speaking of animated movies, let's get into this draft here before we run out of time.
Oh boy, Disney Animated Studios draft, dude. Let's get into it. So I started last time. I got to pick last time with the Fast and Furious draft. So you can decide whether or not you want to go first or you want to go second. You go first, you get the first pick. But you go second, you get 2 picks in a row because it's snake style draft.
So this is a serpentine draft, a snake style draft. But there is a particular movie that I want off the bat, so I am going to go first.
All right, if you're going first, all right, hold on. Let me just open up this here. I'll actually just write it down. Buckley Duke, what's your first pick?
I'm going first because I know that you want Aladdin.
God damn it, you son of a biscuit. You son of a biscuit. That was the only movie I wanted. You son of a bitch.
I know. You even tried to convince me to go second during the pre-show.
I did. Yeah, I was like, ooh, if you go second, you get 2 picks in a row. Fuck me. I was dumb. I made it too obvious, I think. I made it too obvious what I was trying to pull on you. That makes it pretty tough, but you know what? You know what I think I'm gonna pick? I'm gonna pick Hercules. That's my first pick.
Wow, dude. That's an insane pick because I would have never picked that. I don't like that at all.
Dude, you don't like Hercules?
I don't think Hercules is that good.
Dude, I love Hercules so much. Danny DeVito, fucking that's the greatest shit. I went to a karaoke bar and I was trying to get them to put on the Danny DeVito song from Hercules. Did not have it, unfortunately. But my next pick is one that I'm sure that is probably going to be your next pick. My next pick I'm going to take is Lion King.
Sure, yeah, I love Lion King.
I'm going to take Lion King. Great film. So that brings us back to we're in round 2 now, and so you get your second pick. What are you going to choose, my man?
All right. Well, now we're down to the ones that doesn't even matter to me at this point. So
okay, just take Mulan 4 times.
Can I have Mulan 4 times?
No.
You know what? I'm gonna take Beauty and the Beast second.
Beauty and the Beast. That's a good choice. Again, it really is a great film.
Yeah, and for my back-to-back snake style draft pick, I will be taking The Jungle Book.
The Jungle Book, like really? That one seems bizarre to me. That seems like
dude.
That seems like a weird ass choice. All right, so that brings us to my 3rd round pick. Ooh, what are my options? Let me take a look here. You know what I'm gonna take? I'm gonna take one that is like the most underrated Disney animated film of all time. I'm gonna take The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay, I'll let you have that one.
Hunchback is fucking wild, dude. Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's my round 3. That brings us into round 4 of the snake style draft, baby. What do I want for round 4? Shit, that sort of oh god, this fucking guy in a Mustang just like parks his car outside my house, and he just plays like wildly loud, like generic pop, like poppy hip hop music. It's fucking just annoys the shit out of me. But for my for my round 4 pick, I'm gonna take. I'm a big fan of Phil Collins, dude. I love Phil. Anybody knows me knows I love Phil Collins. I'm gonna take Tarzan.
Ooh, nice. That's a good pick. We love Phil Collins.
Fuck yeah, dude. Except I don't like Brother Bear, but I do like the Phil Collins tune from Brother Bear.
Sure, absolutely.
Which brings us to your round 4 pick.
My round 4 pick. I think I'll take Fantasia.
Oh, see, Fantasia's great. You and I were talking about it before the show, but like it seriously is like a fever dream. It's how it's like super long too. Isn't that like 2.5 hours of just
It's
like
pretty long, man. I don't know if
it's
it's 2.5 hours, but it's long.
it's like just wild shit just happening, and then suddenly the devil is in that movie. Like the
Yes,
real
dude. And let me tell you, Satan is scary. So.
yeah, he's scary. He's scary in Fantasia, dude. The remake that they made in 2000 or like the reboot or whatever they did was less
Fantasia
fun.
2000, I think it was called.
Yeah, I think it was literally they weren't very creative with it, but I think it was pretty fun. I mean, it's not as fun, but it was all right.
Well, keeping up the craziness theme of Fantasia, I'm going to take Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh, Alice in Wonderland. I'm gonna go ahead and say a bad pick. I never liked this one.
I think it's great.
It's again, it's drugs. For sure, it's drugs.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is though, is that it is a kids movie that doesn't try to hide the fact that it's about drugs. Like,
yeah,
they're like, it might as well start with like, hey kids, make sure you toke up before you check this out. There's literally a caterpillar that's just smoking weed the whole movie. It's wild, dude. It's wild. And then there's like that scene where like the walrus eats all those like oysters or whatever. Oysters. And, and then like
I think it's a great film. I personally do. I think it's wild.
Yeah, the more I think about it, there's some pretty good shit in there. There's actually some pretty good shit in there. So for my last pick, oh man, this is tough. This is tough. But you know what I'm going to take is that I'm going to take the only 3D animated film from the most recent animated studios films. I'm going to take Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Big Hero 6, dude. That one's dope. So that is it. Let's go through it real quick. Buck, oh, God damn it. Your list is better than mine, straight up. Like, you're going to win this round for sure. Buck got Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, Fantasia, and Alice in Wonderland. And I got Hercules, Lion King, Hunchback in Notre Dame, Tarzan, love it, and Big Hero 6.
Tarzan, I'll be honest, Tarzan's pretty underrated. I like Tarzan a lot.
Tarzan's fucking good, dude. Until they canonically linked it to Frozen, and I'm like, fuck off. Don't ruin a good movie with a bad one. Straight up, we hate the movie Frozen on this show.
I've never seen that movie. I have seen the live stage play on app.
I remember you telling me about that. And there's like wasn't like the snowman puppeteer like not dressed up like a puppeteer? Was he just like a guy?
Yeah, just a guy in street clothes doing puppet.
Can you bring because I know you were saying Disneyland has Vegas rules and you could just like get beers and shit, but can you bring beers into the show, or is that like not allowed?
You cannot, but we were pretty drunk at the time, so it didn't really matter.
Dude, that's so great. That is
I was like falling asleep and shit. It was ridiculous.
That's what some people like to call good content.
Yeah.
So you can check out
I recommend you go to California Adventure, Vegas Rules, get drunk, and go see the Frozen stage show, which has replaced the Aladdin stage show, which was much better.
Yeah, dude, the Aladdin stage, and you know what I love about those stage shows? They make them 40 minutes.
Whole thing in 40 minutes. See, I technically haven't seen Frozen. I get it. Completely understand it. Here's the thing, though. It makes a horrible stage show because you can't really condense that to 40 minutes.
Well, like in the movie, they just go up the mountain and then they go back down. So, like, I do see the appeal to turning that into a stage show, because it's not like that wouldn't be that hard to do, because it's just them going up a hill and going back down. But then there's like the scary rock monsters and shit, and like I don't know if that would translate well.
They do have those, and they look horrible. They look like Ewoks.
Oh, dude, bad fucking movie though. So that's gonna be up on Letterboxd.com. We'll post it on the Punch Nerds Facebook as well. Go and vote in the comments. Who has the better top 5? I know it is Buck Leduc, but you can vote for me if you feel pity or whatever. That'd be good. Be like, feel bad for me since he snagged Aladdin, like that perfect film.
I thought we were doing 10, so I was gonna do Peter Pan next, but that's okay.
Oh, do you want to keep going?
No, that's fine.
Sure,
I've had enough.
Peter Pan's wild because it's super racist, but like it was fine back then.
Yeah.
I don't remember because I haven't seen it in a while, but I feel like Pinocchio had some racist stuff in there too.
It does, yeah. It actually does. I think there's some blackface or something.
Yeah, I think they have like what's that one? Song of the South. That one's like actually 100% racist. It's like that one's like, I think it's only about racism too, which is like absolutely fucking crazy for a kids movie. But,
well, then there's those Spanish ones like Three Caballeros and stuff like that. Like there's a couple of those.
Yeah, Three Caballeros is actually like really good. It's weird because it's like
I like that one.
It's like two clearly Spanish characters and Donald Duck, and which is just weird because Donald Duck is not Spanish at all. But it's fun. Three Caballeros is a lot of fun if you ever get a chance to check that out. Then there's like even like what was it? Shit, what's that one that they did about the lemmings? Because like there's that documentary they made about lemmings that I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the whole like lemmings follow each other off a cliff. Disney made that up for content. They're like just trying to make good content for like some doc they were doing about lemmings. Mm-hmm. And so like they purposely were like ushering them off cliffs and shit, dude. Like it's fucked up. So like just so you know, lemmings don't actually do that. Like Disney was like pushing them. And like people think that's a real thing, but it is not. Buck Leduc, do you want to see my notebook? You see this little fucking this shit here? That is all notes on Pirates of the Caribbean 4 on Stranger Tides.
Good God, man.
Dude, I have so many goddamn notes on this movie. It is the most expensive movie in human history.
Doesn't look it.
And it doesn't look it. Yeah. Here's the problem.
Well, because like 55 million went to Johnny Depp, so like that doesn't count though, right? Because this is production budget.
Yeah, and like 50, and a lot of it had to have gone to Jeffrey Rush as well, I'd assume. None of it
$378 million.
Too much. Too much money. It's the most expensive movie of all time by a lot.
By a lot. Like the closest one is Pirates of the Caribbean 3 at 300 million, which looks like a $300 million movie.
Absolutely. And this one doesn't. Now, I never thought I would say this, but like maybe taking Gore Verbinski off of it was a bad idea. Like that sounds like such a crazy thing to say because Gore Verbinski's a fucking hack, but like Rob Marshall is clearly a much worse filmmaker. Is Gore Verbinski on the new one? I don't really know, but like he's got to be right.
I'm pretty sure he is, or maybe it might be Rob Marshall again. I don't remember.
I hope it's not fucking Rob Marshall because Rob Marshall, like this movie is inexcusable. Like is what I would call this movie. Like it's very bad. It's one of the worst.
No, it's those two Swedish guys that made Kon-Tiki. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Kon-Tiki. I mean, that could work. That could be fine, I think. That's not the worst news that you could have delivered just now. You could have said it was Rob Marshall again.
Yeah. The Swedes, we got the Swedes going, because that's what I'm saying is there's no more directors. So it's like, well, these Swedes have directed one movie. Should we get them on here? It's like, all right.
I have a question about Pirates of the Caribbean 4. Can you call it Pirates of the Caribbean if literally zero of the movie takes place in the Caribbean? Literally 0%?
Yeah, I guess not. Probably. But.
Yeah, probably not. They did anyways. So this one's more like European pirates now. For some reason, they just decided to transition that over to London. Man, I'm just trying to think, like, is there anything before we just like launch into the garbage of this movie? Like what?
Well, I do think like the first like 30 minutes are kind of fun. We're just like, they tricks you into thinking it's just going to be Jack Sparrow running around by himself, having a lot of fun. And then it just turns into like an onslaught of new characters that don't do anything and old characters that don't do anything.
Onslaught of new characters that don't do anything. And like an onslaught of like lack of information is what I would call it. I wouldn't say they deliver a whole bunch of information in like nonsensical manners. No, they fail to give you like essential information to like understand this film, which is a problem. I had to figure out a lot of the shit, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the first, like you said, the first 30 minutes, that chase scene in London where he's got like the coals and that's on fire and shit.
It's
like
good, man. It is good. Like, and it tricked me into thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe this movie isn't as bad as I remember. And then immediately after that, it's like, oh, this is the worst movie ever made.
Well, and like, obviously, like they were like, okay, we're going to make a new Pirates movie. And they're like, all right, so tell us a little bit about it. And they're like, we're getting Johnny Depp and Jeffrey Rush back. And it's like, good call. Those guys are awesome. They're
sure,
like,
absolutely.
We're going to get Ian McShane to play the bad guy. And you're like, whoo, good. That's a good call.
Absolutely. Love him.
Then they're like, and then one of the other characters, Penelope Cruz. And you're like, I love where this is going. Love it. And then they're like, we're also going to replace Orlando Bloom with Sam Claflin. And that's when we're like, whoa.
Dude, it's the worst character in maybe any movie.
He's so bad. Essentially, Sam Claflin plays a he's been put on Blackbeard's ship to sort of be a religious character. Don't do that. First of all, don't do that.
Pirate movie, so maybe not do that.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. He's a cleric, and essentially he's there to try and save Blackbeard's soul. Don't do that. That's dumb. That's really stupid. And the problem is that it's not even important to the movie.
This Sam Claflin character has only been in bad movies, which is ridiculous. Because like,
crazy.
How is that even possible?
Who's he? Is he like he's in like Me Before You, which is like inexcusable.
Yeah, and then he's in both of the Snow White Huntsman movies.
Yeah, right. He was.
And then he's in all of the bad Hunger Games movies.
Right. He was Cedric or Dedrick or Diderick or something weird like that. What's his character's name? Yeah, dude, I can't. Sam Claflin sucks, dude. I can't believe
he's so bad.
And he's bad at acting too. Like, it's not even just that he's got bad luck with scripts. He's also very bad at acting.
This one almost feels like it's not even canon because like none of it matters and nothing happens.
Yeah, there's so much shit in this movie that's just like really stupid. It's not even like dorky anymore. It's just stupid. Like, cause like the first one's dorky, but like it's kind of fun for what it is. But this one's just like, it's like there's a guy who dresses up like Jack Sparrow, but it's a lady, and it's like, that's fucking stupid. Nobody's gonna fall for that, you know. That's stupid. Keith Richards, get out, please. No more. I don't need that. Like, Keith Richards' character shows up when and where it's convenient for the film, so that Jack Sparrow isn't like suddenly in trouble. He shows up to save Jack. Just to.
Well, see, I didn't even know it was his father. I thought like in the last one it was like his brother or something. Well, I don't pay attention really, but
they don't really say that it's his father in the last one. We didn't really talk about Keith Richards in the last one because he's not really in it very much. But like, they don't really say that he's his father. There is just like that scene where Jack goes up to him and he says like, "How's mom?" And like, it's like, okay, so it's his dad. Got you. Makes sense. I also think that it's so much fun that they chose a villain who just stays in his cabin for the first half of the movie. That's just fucking awesome. Great filmmaking decision. Ian McShane is very good in this movie. I really like it. Have you seen American Gods yet?
Yeah, I've been watching it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've not checked it out, but I really want to because I like Ian McShane.
It's worth it just to see him, and the guy that plays Shadow is really awesome too. I've never seen him in anything, but he's good.
Yeah, and like Ian McShane is so good in this movie, but unfortunately his character is not written very well.
Well, he's like Blackbeard, sort of, but like, what is he exactly? Just another pirate? Like, that's the problem with all these characters. It's like, oh, you're just not pirate.
Yeah, he's just another pirate. It's like, hey, wasn't in the last one like the bad guy, like the person who ferries people into the afterworld? That's cool. All right. But like once you kill Davy Jones, Blackbeard shows up and he's like, "Arr," and you're like, okay, this is gonna be.
Well, this one is just like so bloated with so much shit. There's Blackbeard, there's the Spanish, there's the mermaids for some reason.
Well, which we will get into. Yeah.
There's just so much stuff in this, and none of it matters. Like that's the big problem.
There's so much stuff, but the stakes in this movie are so crazy low. Like,
well, it's sort of high because it's the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, okay, sure. But like in the other movies, it's always like life or death situation. But in this one, it's like they're just looking for a thing and then they find it.
Yeah.
You know? Like in the last one, it's like, oh, we got to kill
like it's basically like they follow a map with a big red X on it and they find it immediately.
Yeah, like it seems like they have very little trouble finding it. But here's my biggest problem with the whole expedition. Is that shit just starts happening and they don't explain any of it. They're like,
voodoo doll, fuck.
Yeah, voodoo doll, fuck off, first of all. They start poking at the voodoo doll. And it's like, okay, so that's his power that they're not going to use at all.
Oh, ships in bottle? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, ships in bottles? No, thank you. But my biggest issue is that like they just start saying like for their expedition the stuff that they have to do, but they don't ever explain that why. Like the first thing they're like, before we get to the Fountain of Youth, we must get a mermaid, and it's like, what? Who? What? You never say anything about a mermaid. Now we're getting a mermaid, and then they capture a mermaid, and you're like, all right, they got the mermaid, but like, What's this for? They carry that mermaid around for, I swear to God, 40 minutes before they explain why they needed it. Like, for a long time. And this one,
I actually don't even know why they needed it. Like, that's how much I don't like this movie. I can't even pay attention.
okay, so I'm going to tell you the plot of this movie because, like,
Okay.
I want you to know that I had to figure this out on my fucking own. The movie doesn't tell you shit. So essentially, when the Fountain of Youth was created, it was also created with 2 chalices, which
I understand that. Yeah, they kind of mention that, which
they just kind of find those chalices too. But we'll yeah, they just get them. But they find the 2 chalices.
Okay, so that makes sense to me. That's like Indiana Jones, right? Okay, you get chalices. That makes sense to me. Then you get the water, and it makes you immortal. I get it.
Okay, but yeah, that's where it should have ended, but it doesn't. Doesn't end there. Here's what happens. When you drink from the Fountain of Youth, you have to have somebody drink from one chalice and the other person drink from the other chalice. You also have to put tears of a mermaid. Tears of a mermaid.
I'll even accept that, where like it sucks the soul out of someone and puts it.
Yeah, essentially, it sucks.
Sure,
the remaining
makes sense to me. Tear mermaid. Why?
Yeah, just have 2 cups, just have 2 cups and be like, this one is the one you drink for death. This is the one that you drink for life.
What should have happened is it should have been like Indiana Jones, where it takes a long time to get the cups, and then you don't know which cup is which, and then cut out the mermaid stuff completely, because that's useless and it takes up 40 minutes.
Yeah. Like, there could have been a lot of really fun, like Spanish tombs are like neat, dude. There could have been so much like adventuring in Spanish tombs and shit, but instead there was an adventure in a cave once in this movie, and the rest of it was sort of in generic jungle, which for some reason it did not look like they color corrected. I wonder.
I'm just like confused to where the money went in this movie, because like there's some elaborate sets for sure, but like
I have an answer for that. The money all went to the fire-breathing pirate ship. The fucking fire-breathing pirate ship, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
That's all the only thing, because like it's the most expensive looking thing in this movie. And honestly, it's not even that expensive looking. But like they must have spent a lot of, you know what? It can't even be, because that's a simple pyrotechnics technique. Like, where's the money, Disney? Where is it? What did you do?
Johnny Depp rolling on a water wheel?
Yeah.
How much could that possibly cost? $378 million production budget.
Yeah, you filmed it all in the fucking jungle. I don't even think you need to get filming permits to just film in the middle of the jungle. Oh insane. Man, it's so crazy, dude. It's so crazy. I really have maybe like the CG on the mermaid tails. Like I'm honestly trying to. Like, did Ian McShane can't like demand a lot, right? Like, he's probably like maybe like a couple milli for this, like he couldn't have asked for a lot of money.
It's like, you barely in it, so it's fine. Yeah. But I don't know, man. And then there's like the Penelope Cruz character where like they have like some sort of backstory, but like doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they graze past it real quick. Although the bit at the end where he's deserting her on the island, that's fun, where she's like trying to convince him to stay, and she's like, I'm pregnant. He's like, no, you're not. And she's like, there's treasure on them shores, and he's like, no, there ain't. Like that's kind of fun, where she's just trying to say whatever she can. But
yeah, but also like he also left the island very slowly, so like he probably
yeah, he's like getting in the boat, and it's like, if I was Penelope, I would have just hopped right in the boat, like
probably as just got in the boat.
Yeah. Oh man, there's all like that part. You're like, how they're like, this is like the part that like buffaloed me the most of the whole movie. Like, and this goes just to like the shitty acting in this movie from the extras or fucking the crew, which is like, there's no interesting crew members in this one, which is unfortunate because like,
yeah, what happened to all the crew members?
Yeah, fucking, where's Mackenzie Crook and his weird eyeball? Like he was with Barbosa in the last one. Well, Barbosa here, maybe he's with the monkey. I don't know how it works. But anyway, what was I saying? Right. This is the craziest part. How they're carrying the mermaid in that giant glass thing of water? And like Sam Claflin is there and he's like, you got to give her air. You got to give her air. So they're carrying around that mermaid in that giant glass thing. And then they hit a tree and the thing smashes and literally nobody reacts. Like they all just like stand there and they're like, it broke. Like, nobody, like none of the fucking ensemble cast react to it at all. Like it almost looks like they did it on purpose, and they're like, "What a shame! I can't believe that it broke." Like I cannot believe that. Like the fucking people. Like how do you take that shot and then Rob Marshall be like, "Oh, okay, can we get another one of those glass things? Because I think we gotta try that again." Like it must have been like they had one chance to get it type thing. And everyone was so nervous that they just didn't react to the thing smashing. God damn.
It's just such a lifeless shell of a film. And credit where credit due, Johnny Depp is still great. Like he's still fantastic. But like it's not, he can't carry it. And they banked on that.
Yeah, they banked on people going to see it just because it's Johnny Depp. And I think literally the last time I saw this movie before this morning was when you and I went to the fucking midnight opening of this.
That is also when I saw it last. I haven't seen it since.
I remember you and I walking out being like, we're never fucking watching that movie again. And then for some reason, we forced ourselves to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so crazy. I was wondering the whole movie if Sam Claflin was going to bang a mermaid, which is weird because, like, at some point in the movie, he sort of abandons his faith to bang a mermaid. Which
that's hilarious. Yeah.
What's the point? What's the point of even having him be a cleric if he's just going to bang a mermaid? There's also like the scene where they're fighting the mermaids, you know, and they're fighting the mermaids from that little tiny boat, and it's choreographed so poorly that it's not interesting to watch at all. It's just sort of like, what the fuck is going on here? Because like half of it's shot underwater, but they keep crossing the access when they go back over the water. It doesn't look very good. Also, why no color? Did no color in this movie? Why was there no color? Remember the last one where they're on the fucking blue, the bright blue sea of the Caribbean, and there's a green monster trying to kill them, like a luminescent green monster?
Uh-huh.
Everything's black in this one. Black and gray, dude. Black and gray. Why? Like,
yeah, it looks bad. I like everything about it is horrible, and I just don't understand how this. Like I feel like I'm harping on this, but it's the most expensive movie ever made.
Yeah, and like it also can't go to the writers because there's also a jarring plot point that I just cannot get over. So, oh boy, here we go. Here's the craziest thing: is that at the beginning of the movie, fucking big old fat Uncle Vernon comes out, may he rest in peace, and Richard, whatever. Yeah, Richard, whatever his name is, rest in peace. He comes out and he's like, I need you to go and find the Fountain of Youth, and you're going to go with this guy. And then Barbossa walks in with his peg leg, which, by the way, that's cool. You know, like, we've been looking for a pirate with a peg leg, and I know that, like, I think Davy Jones had one, but, like, Barbossa being, like, the main character with a peg leg and hiding alcohol in the peg leg, that's fun. There's fun there. Mm-hmm. But like he's like, you gotta go with this guy, and Johnny Depp's like, never. And then he does like the huge thing where he escapes London, and he joins Blackbeard's crew to try and get to the Fountain of Youth. But while he's looking for stuff in the Fountain of Youth, while he's looking for those chalices, bumps into Barbossa and is like, want to join sides? And it's like, if you were just gonna join his side, why'd you run away the first time? Just join his crew. That's crazy. That's absolute craziness.
Well, it's like, I feel like that happens a lot in these movies where it's just like circular. It doesn't matter. And it just like, even in like the first three, like I feel like this happens a lot where like just circular stuff happens, and it's, why are we doing this? Like,
well,
just
like
make a movie.
And then like at the end of the movie, they're all like fighting over the Fountain of Youth, and it's like, it's a fountain though. You can all drink from it. Fountain?
Yeah. Well, and then like the Spanish guys just destroy it for some reason.
Yeah, the Spanish guys just show up and they're just like, wreck this shit. And you're like, why though?
But like, even if you knock over the statues in the Fountain of Youth, fountain's still there.
Yeah.
as you can see in the movie, when Jack uses it, it still works, even if they knock over the statues that were there.
Yeah. Another issue that I had, and like, this isn't really an issue with the movie, but more just like how the movie is billed. On Netflix, if you read the description of this movie, it's like mermaids, zombies. And I'm like, okay, well, mermaids, that's correct. But where is there zombies in this movie? Do you recall?
Don't believe there's any zombies in this film.
I I don't remember a single fucking zombie in this movie, dude. That sounds like not real information.
Oh, I think that's a different movie you're talking about.
There's also basically let's wrap this up because like this is like one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. But like there is a problem with the ending of this movie too, is that at the end of the movie, Barbosa gets the Black Pearl back, and they find his hat, and he starts sailing it, and then Jack also has the Black Pearl, and what? Why do they both have it in like separately?
I
Like,
don't get it.
Is there two? Is there two Black Pearls? What? What's going on? So
Hey,
confusing.
here's the thing about the Black Pearl. Not even that good of a ship. Get a new one.
Yeah. Hey, it's sunk like 9,000 times at this point. Don't need it.
Yeah, it's a baffling piece. Like it is truly like if you want an example of a horrible, just blockbuster, incoherent mess, this is what I can serve you.
And again, it's the most expensive movie ever made. Ever made. Like that's so bonkers to me. And like if those rumors about if those rumors about Batman versus Superman are true about that movie being worth or actually having a budget of 410 after like, you know, all of its budget and shit, right? That means that the two most expensive movies of all time are both fucking terrible. Maybe it's not all about. Wasn't Ex Machina made on like $1 million? Like it's made.
I think it was less.
Like seriously, it's not all about the money.
I think Ex Machina was made for like 1.5 or something like that.
Like, clearly, it's not all about the money. Stop fucking it up for sure. Oh, dude, it drives me nuts. Now, thankfully, I don't think the next movie cost a lot of money. The next movie we're talking about, but it's also fucking terrible, dude.
I hope not. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We're going to talk about Table 19, which, much to my dismay, Buck LeDuc picked as his pick for this week.
Well, I had to make you watch this because this is an insane thing to exist. Because like you come into this, and you're like, okay, it's got a great cast of comedians, right? So this is probably some sort of wedding comedy, and I like weddings. I've been to a lot of them. I like entertaining at weddings, and the best part is the reception. So that makes sense to make a movie about the reception, sure, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense, right?
It's
for
fun,
a comedy. Okay, but there's no jokes in this movie because I thought it was a comedy, but clearly not comedy.
No, it's like a drama where like these six people who don't know each other just start telling each other their like deepest, darkest secrets for no reason. Here's the issue with this movie. Anna Kendrick, not funny. Lisa Kudrow, not funny. Craig Robinson, not funny. June Squibb, not funny. Stephen Merchant, funniest fucking person on the planet. Holy shit, dude. His bit is so goddamn funny. Like, the problem is it's the only funny bit in the whole movie. And it's only because he's good at it.
Yeah, well, I think that's mostly because he's the most wild-looking motherfucker on the planet. Like, yo, how does those little legs hold up his body?
He's so like, long. I'm going to explain the Stephen Merchant character because it's so funny. The Stephen Merchant character is like this guy who lives in a halfway house after he's been released from prison, and like he's on parole and shit, and he can't like have a job and everything. Like he just lives in a halfway house with his with his roommate Jalapeno.
It's good. Like, that is funny.
The whole bit is like he doesn't know any of these people, so he's trying to convince them that that's not the life he lives. And like there's like one of like I laughed so hard at one line, and I was stone faced the entire rest of the movie. But there's like one part.
Smile.
Yeah, did you crack a smile? But one part where like Anna Kendrick is like talking about how she let her ex-boyfriend go, and she's like, "You have no idea, like when you're just getting rid of him and you're not thinking about him. It's so liberating, and it makes you feel so free." And Stephen Merchant's like, "I do know how that feels. I'm free. I've always been a free man." It's like. Funny. It's so funny, but the rest of the movie, it's like June Squibb. It's like, I'm 87 years old and I smoke the pot, and it's like, okay, you got her talking like a fucking grandma. That's great. Yeah, have her smoke pot and say the pot. That's fucking all right. Pot, whatever. Yeah. Lisa Kudrow, don't act because you can't. You don't know how.
It's unthinkable that someone could have made this movie and that people would have agreed to be in it.
Yeah, like
A lot of
and,
famous people.
yeah, like it's like Wyatt Russell is in it, and like Anna Kendrick, obviously. There's more famous people too that I must be forgetting. But like, yeah. Oh, the kid from Grand Budapest. I always forget his name. I just know him as Kid from Grand Budapest.
Yeah, Tony Ravioli or whatever.
Yeah, that character had a potential to be a good bit because like the whole bit of him is that his mom wants him to get laid at the wedding. And, like that's potential for a good bit. And like the bit doesn't pay off until the end of the movie when he goes up to that girl and he's like, "I'd just like to let you know I have a giant penis." And like the whole movie is building up to that point.
It's funny when you explain it, but it's not actually a funny bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But like seriously, like I could sit here all day and be like, this movie's very bad, but Walter is an interesting character and is the only interesting character. So like, I want to see a movie just about fucking Stephen Merchant as Walter, dude. That's what I want.
The thing about Stephen Merchant is he can basically do anything, and it's the funniest thing ever. So
yeah, because it's all in his eyes, right? Like he just goes and it's like I am a free man, you know, like just all in his fucking eyes, dude. He's like,
hello there, I'm a successful businessman.
Yeah,
he is a knobhead.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, do you know Donnie? Yeah, he's a knobhead. I'm Donnie. Yeah, dickhead. Like it's like it is funny. This movie is also like a hard PG-13, and what I mean by that is that there's lots of times when they almost say fuck. Like there's lots of times where Anna Kendrick is like, "What the fuck," and then she like trails off, and it's like, don't. Okay, either say fuck or don't.
She seems like someone that would just trail off in real life, though. So that's like,
yeah. It's I mean, very possible. I feel like she's definitely very spacey. I feel like I'd hang out with Anna Kendrick. I think she's
on weird Twitter, so.
Yeah, I feel like you could hang out with Anna Kendrick.
Twitter is like mine.
I feel like you could hang out with Anna Kendrick and be honest with her about her movies, and she would still like want to hang out with you.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be like, "Oh yeah, you didn't like Table 19? Yeah, that's me neither." You know, like, or what's that one that she did with Efron last year? That would Get a Job. No, that was Miles Teller. Get a Job. Seen that?
Yeah. Yeah, well, she also did one with Max Landis and what was his name? Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, yeah, dude. I didn't 100% hate that movie. Didn't like it either, but didn't 100% hate. I thought Anna Kendrick was very bad in it, but I love Sam Rockwell so much. So
yeah,
it's tough to hate. And who was the bad guy? It was like someone crazy. It was like Anthony Hopkins or something weird like that in that movie.
It was Hopkins.
Yeah. I don't think so either, but it was somebody crazy. It was somebody crazy. Oh, it was Roth. That's who it was. It was fucking Tim Roth.
Yeah. That movie was crazy.
Dude, yeah, that was a weird movie. Not very good, but like also, like I said, not very bad either. It's definitely the best
it was like yeah, it was like he tried to make American Ultra again, but he's like, maybe I'll try something different this time. And Rizzo was in it, Shotgun Steve. Holy shit, Rizzo was so good in that movie.
Rizzo was in that fucking movie. Yeah. Table 19 is like, it's very bad, but it gets really, really bad around the 40-minute mark because for two reasons. Walter, the best character of the movie, decides to be honest with everybody. He's like, actually, I'm a criminal. So like his bit of like trying to hide that he's a criminal, gone. It's gone from the movie from that point on. You also find out at the 40-minute mark that Anna Kendrick is pregnant, and I'm out here like, I don't fucking care. I do not care. As soon as that plot line came about, and it's like, Lisa Kudrow was like, I came here to have an affair. It's like, I just don't care about this is what I like to call a white person problem movie, where it's all these rich white people talking about their problems. Well, I'm sitting over here eating fucking macaroni and cheese because it's the only thing I have in my house. You know, just watching these fucking rich white people complain about like how their boyfriends don't like them and shit. And like, it just makes me blood red mad.
Were you blood red mad?
Yeah, I was blood red mad. I think like, if it wasn't for Stephen Merchant, I probably would not have finished the 80-minute runtime of this movie.
Yeah. And
like,
that's
I think
I wanted to watch it.
Yeah, because like I do like I love Stephen Merchant so much. He's one of the funniest people, like maybe on the planet. Like he actually is so fucking funny and way underrated. And why he keeps doing movies like this? I'm like, what was that one he did with Owen Wilson? The fucking Pass or whatever, something Pass, Hall Pass, is that it? No, Day Pass. Yeah, he's like the friend in that movie, and like he keeps doing all this swill, and like I just don't know why more people aren't like, why? Remember Hello Ladies? Why didn't that take off?
Well, I don't know. It got canceled like after a season and a half or something.
Okay, make a movie that's like that.
Well, he did make a movie of that.
Oh, did he? I never saw the movie.
Yeah.
I might have to. Ooh, shit, dude. That might be. Shit, I might have to check that out immediately.
Yeah, it's
Also,
it's like the Entourage movie. It's like the final season, but he made it into a movie because they wouldn't give him another season.
oh yeah, that's sort of like what they did with Extras as well, and
Yeah,
even like the first British Office. That's what they did too. But what was I gonna say? Right, you pitch all this shit to me, and you're like, okay, so this is what the movie's gonna be about, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, ugh, if I gotta watch it, I'll watch it. You know, if I gotta watch it, I will. But then they're like, there's also gonna be a scene where Craig Robinson has sex with Lisa Kudrow, and I'm like, I'm fucking out. Then I'm fucking out. Like, you just convinced me to be out, dude. That is something I never want to see in my goddamn life, dude. Oh, dude, it's fucking grotesque, dude.
but you also loved it.
Yick, yick. No, thank you. Not a fan. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a horrible film, and I don't know why it exists, but it sure does.
Yeah, it absolutely does, in fact, exist. It is my least favorite film. No, maybe I'd say Fist Fight. I like Fist Fight a little less than this, but
Oh, Fist Fight is better than this movie, though.
it's like the crazy thing is, it's my least favorite film we talked about today, which is saying so much, dude.
Because on Stranger Tides might be the worst movie ever made. So.
Yeah, like it's top 10, dude. It's a top 10. But Table 19 is just like, it's a movie that I wouldn't even put on like a top 10 worst movies of all time because I'm gonna forget about it fucking immediately. I'm not even gonna remember this movie exists in like a week. You know, it's one of those movies that just happened to me for 80 minutes. It's fucking raped my brain, and now I'm ready to just move on.
Well, you gotta get your 2017 numbers up, bud.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. I gotta watch a lot of movies from 2017. God bless. Because like I can't make a bottom
numbers up. Go to the theater once in your life. Get those numbers up.
Yeah, I kind of want to go see that Guardians movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I bet that would be fun in a theater.
You will not like it.
Will I not like it? Ah, dude, that sucks.
I think
like every time
not going to like it.
Every time somebody says to me like you're not gonna like this movie, they're usually right. Especially you, because like you know my movie taste literally better than anybody else on the planet. And like if you think I'm not going to like it, you're right. You're probably correct. God damn, dude, that sucks. Oh well, maybe will I like Alien at the very least? Will I like Alien?
I think you'll like Alien.
Well, okay, maybe I'll go see that then. Maybe I'll go see that. It's been a while since. You know what I kind of want to do is like I want to pick up like that Alien PlayStation game that's like apparently like super fucking just like Alien.
Well, I know you like Fassbender, and Fassbender is the star of this movie.
But doesn't it also have McBride?
Yeah, but he's actually not really, he's not in it that much, so it doesn't matter.
Isn't his character named like Tallahassee or like Tennessee? Tennessee is in every Alien movie. Do they have somebody named after a state? I guess we're gonna find out.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess we're gonna find out because that's gonna be our next series that we watch. We're done the Pirates movies, and shit, we didn't even count down our top 4. Oh, you know what? Let's wait till we see number 5.
Sure.
Wait till we see number 5.
I think I know the order already, but
yeah, I think I have a pretty good idea of what order it's gonna. Stranger Tides. Look, I don't know what I have not seen. Dead Man Tell No Tales. I don't know much about Dead Man Tell No Tales because it's not out yet.
It's not getting good reviews, so.
But it's not gonna. It can't be worse, right?
It's not worse for sure. It's not.
It can't be worse than on Stranger Tides. There's no fucking way, dude.
Javier Bardem would never let that happen.
Yeah, God, Javier Bardem would take a look at the first draft and be like, "Back to the drawing boards." Be like,
I did read a thing today that Johnny Depp passed on the last script for Pirates because it had a woman villain.
Dude, seriously?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's why probably because I bet you there's like a fight scene between Johnny Depp and the woman villain, and he doesn't want to be seen as a guy who punches women anymore.
No, his explanation was that it was too similar to the last movie he was in. I forget what it was though.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. What was that one that he did? The Tourist? Is that real? Is that the one?
No, it wasn't that one. Like 10 years ago.
Was that it like was. 10 years ago?
What was he in recently? I forget. I don't even know.
Does Johnny Depp even work? Maybe. I don't know. Dark Shadows is bad though. So
It
like
doesn't matter though. That was his explanation.
that's
Prove
a
I did had a villain.
it's a really fucking dumb decision. But I'm excited to see that. Hopefully that should be good. Fingers crossed at the very least. So we are gonna start watching these alien movies. Aliens, Alien 3, mildly confusing. Alien Resurrection. Are we gonna include AVP? Are we gonna include AVP?
Well, let's save that for when we watch Predator.
Okay, yeah, good point. Because those are closer to being Predator movies than Alien
It's
movies.
more like a Predator movie.
Yeah, so we'll do all the Alien movies. I think there's 5 currently, and well, no, now there's 6 now. But we'll do all the Alien movies. We're also next week going to be talking. You guys been waiting for it, and it's finally gonna be happening. Dom Toretto's turning his back on family. What?
Oh, family?
Dominic Toretto's turning his back on family to hang out with Charlize Theron. What?
Wow,
Great.
that's crazy.
We're gonna be talking about fate.
They're in the Arctic.
And what's the
Wait
other
till
movie?
they drive. Like the next one, they have to drive a car off a pyramid, right? It's the last place on Earth they haven't been.
And we're also going to be talking about Lego Batman movie. We were going to save this for the animated Chonky Donk, but you know what? Just too excited to see it. Got to see it.
I might watch all these movies right now. I fucking like all of these. So
Yeah, fuck it.
I haven't seen Fate of the Furious, but I know I like it. So
I'm positive that Fate of the Furious is a good film.
it's like Baywatch. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm positive I love it.
Oh yeah, dude, me too. Well, I will see anything with The Rock, dude. Have you seen trailers for Jumanji or even like promo shots from
I haven't
Jumanji?
seen anything from Jumanji.
Oh, dude, it looks good. Karen Gillan is like the hot girl in it, and like she is so hot.
right.
And then The Rock's in it, and fucking Jack Black, and like I don't remember who the 4th person is, but it's also somebody wild. It's like somebody who shouldn't be there, obviously.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, it is. It is Kevin Hart. That's exactly who it is. But like I guess the idea is that like Jumanji is now a video game, and they're like the in-game what's the word I'm looking for? Avatars is like
Oh boy.
The Rock and like Jack Black, and like that's might be a mistake, but let's see where it goes.
That potentially might be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it could be the best movie of the year. It could also be the worst movie of the year. We'll have to wait and see. Well, no, I mean like it gets like a pity point just for having The Rock, so probably not worst movie.
Yeah. When The Rock shows up, it's like this is a 2-star automatically.
Yeah.
And then where it goes from there is none of my business.
I just like to see The Rock do the weird eyebrow. You know the one where he's like he turns around and like
Yeah, that's the can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Cooking. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk about The Rock next week.
Yeah, we love The Rock. Anyway, follow me on Twitter at LastCoolDude and
Follow me at Chad Lee the Movie.
listen to the podcast. I think we're very close to 1,000, probably within a couple downloads here. In fact,
dude, we're gonna pop off a thundo.
Be a celebration.
Yeah, we'll open the champagne.